Hello, everyone. Welcome to Small Biz Tips. Guys, I have another treat for y'all today. I met this young lady back in Miami at an inner circle event. She has like the energy and the fire. Her and her sister, you can't even tell them apart. That's how identical they are. They're freaking amazing and they're killing it in the beverage and bar space. So I had to bring her in, y'all. Selena, what's going on?
Hey, Gilbert, how you doing? Thanks for having me.
Fantastic. Thank you for coming on. I know you're super busy, so I want you to share some real good gem with people because I think what you're doing is awesome, and a lot of people don't know about your industry. So before I go any further into all that, who is Selena?
Oh, Selena is an entrepreneur,
Hmm.
newly entrepreneur. I started out in the bar about 12 years ago, not knowing honestly what to do. I just needed a job, honestly. Went to the strip club as a server. Um, Ended up getting thrown behind the bar maybe like a month in, and
Wow.
the rest is history. Like I taught myself bartending. My sister put me through school, and from there I just honed in on my craft, and
Mm,
I ran with it.
congratulations. Wow, that's amazing story. So let's talk about it a little bit more, right? You said you were looking for a job. That was about 12 years ago. Was it like you were just getting out of high school, college? What happened that when
um
you were looking for a job
that
back
was like
then?
2009, so that's right when the recession was coming. So
Mm-hmm.
I was on unemployment, and I always worked, and
Mm-hmm.
I got fired from this one job, as I usually did, or quit.
It's a
And so
calling. That's what telling you need to start your
yeah,
own.
yeah. And so my mom, she kept saying, "You're gonna be." She never said entrepreneur because entrepreneur wasn't the word back then. It was
Yeah, nobody was using
self-employed.
that.
Yeah. So self-employed because my dad is self-employed. She was like, I just see your dad all over you. You're gonna be self-employed, working for yourself. You can't keep a job. You can't do. Not that I didn't work. I wasn't a good
Yeah.
worker. It was just I was very hard-headed. I would see something and say something versus everybody else just rolling with the punches. So I'll say,
Mm,
no, you might want to do it like this. It was considered talking back, and
mm,
all that good stuff. So, I got fired, and I was like, I'm just gonna take this unemployment money and just chill. And I was 25, just trying to figure it out. And
mm-hmm.
when my friend told me about going into the strip club, I was like, for what? Like, well, I mean, no offense, but no. She's like, no, no, the service there make money. Never thought about, ever. So I was like, let's give it a try. Let's see what I can do. So
Yeah.
when I went in there, my unemployment was running out. So I had to figure
Yeah, yeah,
something
yeah.
out. I said, hey, you got a couple more weeks. And so I told them, I say, well, I don't have any experience. I'm just gonna be honest.
Mm-hmm.
This was it was so it was 2008. So it was December 31st, 2008. Going into
Wow.
2009, and so it was New Year's Eve. So they was like, "Well, you can come back, and we'll see if you work out." I said, "Well, I'm just letting you know." I said, "But I can learn." And so yeah, I was like, "Listen, let me," because I'm very honest. A lot of people say, "Oh my God,"
Yeah.
I'm very honest. I'm very blunt. I speak my mind, and so I told him, I said, "Well, I came in the first night, and my mind was blown. I'm like, wait a minute, because I didn't know the girls were gonna be naked. I was like, oh, there, so I didn't know where to look. I'm like,
Yeah.
so, but I came back and didn't make a dime. You hear me?
Mm.
Nothing. And so I'm like, oh, man. I said, this is gonna be a struggle. But eventually, I
Yeah.
kept coming back. Because at the time, I was staying with my mom and dad, and
Mm-hmm.
whenever they need me to come in, I was working because I didn't want to be at the house with them. So I'm like, I'm coming to work, and I was going to work but not making money. So I asked one of the servers, I said, hey, everybody's making money. Like, again, I'm not familiar with the industry, so I didn't know you have
Yeah.
to search yourself. So I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
not making any money. Um, what do I do? So she was like, just go talk. And I was like, talk? And so she's like, yeah. So I saw this one guy sitting over by himself. I'm like, hey, have anybody came and helped you? He's like, no. I said, well, can I take your drink order? I took his drink order. He tipped me. He's like, I like how you work. You're very professional. You came over here. You made sure I was okay. He's like, I want to, whenever I come back, I'm going to come see you. So I'm like,
Wow.
okay. Okay. So he gave me a
It
$20
just opened
tip.
up your
Yeah.
mind.
So I'm like, okay, this is how we do it. So one of my core values in my business, I pride myself on customer service. I mean,
Mm.
like I have like 10 out of 10 for the most part. Maybe
Love it.
somebody, can't have 10 out of 10, but that I pride myself on customer service because I learned very early on the customers will rock with you if you're genuine, if you're honest, if you just, you looking out for their best interest, they'll come back tenfold. And so when he kept coming back, he'll tell his friends and their friends tell their friends. And next thing you know, I had clientele. Next thing you know,
Wow.
they're throwing me on the bar. And I was like,
Wow.
no, 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 this is good. And so they're like, no, you gotta get on the bar. And so when I got on the bar, oh my goodness, again, I don't drink and I don't have a drink brand. I don't drink. And I was like, looking crazy. And I'm like, man. So the first drink I made, the guy, he said he wanted vodka, Grey Goose, and cranberry. I said, okay, I can do that, vodka, Grey Goose. So when I poured the drink, I did really literally vodka, Grey Goose, and cranberry. I did not know Grey Goose was vodka. So,
Oh my God.
so he tasted it and he spit it out. He's like, what is this? And I said, you said vodka, Grey Goose, and cranberry. That's what I gave you. He was like, Grey Goose is vodka. Oh, it was so embarrassing. And I was like, it's my first day. I told him to put me back here. I don't know.
Oh my God, that's funny. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
so yeah, that was the beginning of like a beautiful relationship. So, right then and there, he said, I'm gonna tell you something real quick. And he turned me around. He said, look at all the bottles. Look at all the bottles. And it says what it is on the bottle. So you got cognac, you have Hennessy, it says cognac, you have Tito's, it says vodka. So I'm looking at it, I said, oh, okay. So that was like my first crash course in bartending. Like,
Wow.
so from there, I started liking it because again, I can talk to people not any kind of way, but I can actually exert my personality and don't
Yeah.
get tipped for it instead of getting fired.
Yeah.
So
No, that's fantastic.
yeah,
So
so
let me ask you this, right? So you start because it seems to me like you just jump onto something, you say you don't know, but you're willing to learn,
yes.
but then you use your skill set, which is your personality and customer service, and boom, you get
Yeah.
it.
That's
That's
exactly what
amazing.
happens. That's exactly even in jumping into the mentorship, because I've been doing this for so long, the drinks, but
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing. So a lot of things that Neo teaches us, I was already doing, not knowing I was doing it. So when
Mm.
everybody be like, "Oh my God, I do work a lot. Oh, you just do this and you do this." I because I'm teaching myself, and I tell people a lot of time, I was my own cheerleader for years. Because when
Mm.
I'll tell people, "Hey, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that," they like, "I'm gonna do that if I were you." That's right, I'm doing it, not you. So
Mm.
certain stuff like that.
How did you, because you said something, you've been your own cheerleader, right? A lot of people don't have that type of mindset. How did you build that? How did you build that mindset to be your own cheerleader no matter what?
I realize a lot of people don't have that mindset. I'm starting to realize that. I was just one of those, as Neo would say, again, it gotta get done. I have to do it.
Yeah,
So
it has
he
to work
said,
or it has to work.
yeah, that's what he said. So when he started talking, I'm like, oh, he's talking to me. Because honestly, I am a miniature version of him because how he thinks is so crazy. Like when I first went to Miami and I was sitting next to my sister, I kept hitting her like, so I found my tribe. But it took like resiliency. Like I've gotten told so many times. I have nothing but sheer determination. That's
I
that's
love
that's,
it.
that's the bottom line.
I
It's
love it.
it's the bottom line. And again, when coming from where I come from, a lot of people. I'm from Atlanta. And so I
Yeah.
see that because a lot of people in Atlanta is content with Atlanta. And I love
Mm.
Atlanta, but it's like I started working at this other bar in I think 2014 or something like that. I was there for 7 years. So again,
Mm.
Atlanta people don't know what we're sitting on, what we're sitting in. It's so many people coming from other states and other
Yeah, I'm from another
countries.
state and I'm in Atlanta now too.
Exactly. So, being from Atlanta, we have our own culture, we have our own everything, but we take it for granted. So I was
Mm.
working in the bar, and this one particular bar I was working in, a lot of people was like from New York, from New Jersey,
Hmm.
like from everywhere. And so they said, "Oh man, you're from Atlanta." I'm like, "Yeah." So what I started noticing, I started seeing a lot of millionaires coming there. I started
Hmm.
seeing a lot of black millionaires that
Hmm.
looked like me. So I started asking questions. Hey,
Smart.
what do you do for a living? What do you do? I started getting in their business, and come to find
Yeah.
out the common denominator was they were entrepreneurs. So I
Mm.
said, I need to become an entrepreneur. I don't know how it's gonna happen. But again, it opened my mind up, because if I had stayed around the friends and people who I was talking
Yeah,
to,
you'll never know.
and so they said,
Yeah.
why all of a sudden you want to sell drinks? And why all of a sudden, and I was like, well, why not? So every
Mm-hmm.
time somebody asks me why you want to do this, and I'm like, why not? Like, I mean, I'm one of those type of people. I'm gonna try it. Now I failed, but I get right back up. I'm like, okay, let me try this way.
I love
So
it. No, no, I love it
yeah, I'm
because
one of those
you,
people that,
yeah, you don't
you
see it
know,
as, oh my God, I fell, I'm gonna, go away. You see it
yeah,
more, I'll figure out a way. I just haven't figured out the right way yet.
exactly.
Which takes me, right? You said you work in a bar for 7 years and then you started the drink business, Liquid Loud. When did
Yeah.
that start?
So what happened was, I tell people all the time, I didn't want to be a 40-year-old bartender. I'm 38.
Mm,
I love it. Don't get it wrong. But again, working for other people, if I say, hey, I think you should do this, and they still doing it wrong, and the customers, I started learning that the customers were coming for me. Because before I
mm,
worked at that particular bar for 7 years, I was at a couple of other different bars. And so
yeah,
I was watching the owners the whole time, because I eventually thought I would want to have a bar one day. That's what I thought. I
got
want
it.
a bar, whatever. But I started realizing, in the bar, you really have to be there every day. I don't want to do
Mm.
this. I didn't want to do
You
that. You
can't
have to
have somebody tell me about the bar business because I don't know that business. So you said you got to be there every day as the
yeah,
owner?
because people, you got people still. You got,
Oh wow.
yeah, yes, bartenders still, like the kitchen staff still. And if you're
Wow.
not, if you can't trust your staff, they give away stuff. Your friends
Mm-hmm.
come in there, they drink up all your stuff, eat up all your stuff. So you have to be there to monitor that, unless you have a
A
solid
GM.
team. Yeah, that who's gonna hold you down and say no, or GM somebody. But if everybody's in cahoots, they're robbing you blind.
Mm.
I was
Wow.
never the one to do that. And that's why I was trusted a lot. But at the same time, I didn't want to be there all day, every day. I found
Yeah.
myself being there all day, every day, and I was tired. Now, the money
Mm.
was good, but I was tired. As you get older, people don't understand bartending is fun, but it's a job. Your
Yeah.
back hurt, your feet hurt, they're
Yeah.
swelling. You have to multitask. It's so much stuff that goes into bartending that nobody knows except for the turn up. It's more
Wow.
than just the turn up.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So
No, I'm glad you said that because we don't
yeah.
think of it that way. Because we like you go to the bar. I don't drink, but when I used to
Mhm.
drink, you just
Mhm.
have good conversation with the
Exactly.
bartender. They'll give you drink, but you don't realize that person is actually working and
Yes.
like a regular job. That's
Yes.
so. Talk to us about Liquid Loud, right? Like,
Okay.
tell us more about the company. What do you guys
Um,
do?
well, first of all, when I was bartending, that's what it fell in my lap. A lot of stuff falls in my lap. So
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know. Again, I'm not a drinker. So people say, oh my God, your drinks taste so good, taste so good. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm just making drinks. But I made sure that I was better than everybody because I didn't drink. So the
Mm,
bartender next to me could taste their drink. I'm not tasting that. I'm just gonna, wing it. So, but as I was doing it, I was like, I have to be the best. And so once I started doing that, and people started giving me feedback, I went from, oh, thank you. When they tell me, oh, your drinks are good, I went from thank you to, yeah, I know. Got a little cocky. Yeah, I know.
confidence.
So, but they liked that. So then I
Yeah.
had a couple of people. I would invite them to the bar, because that's how I made extra money. I say, turn up Tuesday or something, and I'll tell them to come to the bar to see me. So they said, Selena, you need to start selling these drinks, because I had this one drink called Mango Madness, because again, everybody had the margaritas and the Hennessy margarita.
Yeah.
I wanted something different that, when I put this drink out, they know it was Selena's
This is
drink.
your
Yeah.
gotcha.
So
Wow.
I said Mango Madness. This gonna be my drink. This one drink. And so they was like, you should sell it. And I was like, what? What? Sell it? No, I'm not selling that. And so they was like, so many people kept saying it, kept saying. I said, So January 1, again, 2014, I took me a
Hmm.
little mason jar. I went to the went to the Dollar Tree, got a mason jar. And I said, let me just see if I could just sell this drink. Put it on Facebook, $5. It sold. I said, oh,
Boom.
okay. let me try something else. So then people said, well, you got some more flavors. So I was like, okay, but this what nobody knows. While I was on the bar, I used it as my office. So
Wow.
I'm bartending. I'm like, well, since I don't drink, I have to do my lab testing here. So
Wow.
it was like, you got mango madness? I was like, I don't want to do mango madness. Let's try something else. I got a strawberry sensation for you. Do something out there.
I
I said, let's try that. So they taste it. They said,
love it.
it's too sweet. And I try somebody else. Oh, it's too strong. Oh, this is perfect. Then I tried again. This is perfect. That was me.
Wow.
All right.
So yeah,
So
it's
that's
like your
what,
lab. You're
yeah.
taking you're
So
doing
that's
experiments, you're
exactly,
taking okay.
that's exactly what I was doing on the bar. So 12 flavors get later, I had a whole, I had 12 flavors.
Wow.
And that's what I was doing on
Congratulations.
the bar. Thank you. So people's like, what are you doing? You keep, I said, don't worry about it. Just, so when I left, I already knew I was gonna leave eventually, but I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know I was scared. I was scared.
Mm.
I really was. And so you know how you go to work and you just it's not working, you just want to leave, but at the same time
Yeah.
you're scared to go.
You
So
have
I
something
got
holding you
fired.
back.
I got
Oh
fired.
wow.
That's what, and it was nothing on me. Well, I was selling my drinks, but the owner knew. What happened was it was a girl that didn't like how people was loving me, how I was getting, how I had clientele. She couldn't
Mm-hmm.
understand. She couldn't make money while I was there because everybody who walked through the door, they're coming to see me.
Mm.
So she
You
started
build
telling,
a clientele
yeah,
and
I
you
did
promote
from the
yourself
ground up.
well.
Yeah.
That's smart.
So she started telling the owner, oh, she's selling her drinks, which I was, and he knew it. I was selling my drinks in the parking lot because, mind you, I work on the weekend.
Yeah.
So they'll say, I know you got some drinks on you. And I say, yep, take this. I never left the bar. Take these keys. Go to the drink. It's in the cooler, and bring me my money back. I know what I got. Don't take a drink. So stuff like that. And she just couldn't stand it. So basically, I was bartending and then getting my side money on the side.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
So
yeah.
then I started looking into pop-up shops and festivals. This girl, she DM me, hey, you want to share a booth at a festival? And I was like, I don't care. Let's go.
Yeah.
So
So that's how
again,
you start building it.
so I went to the
Nice.
festival. Nobody knew me. So I was like, how am I going to get these people to buy these $5 drinks? And so I said, you know what? Saturday, I sold nothing. So I left the festival a little early. I went to I don't know where I went to. I went to a store and got some shot cups. Little shot cups.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm gonna sample this because I know it's good. I gotta figure out how to get this up. And I didn't have a lot. I probably had like $300 worth of stuff. So I said, let
Wow.
me just go and see, So I said, free samples, because I wanted to get rid of it like clockwork. After that, I sold out. And I told her, I
Wow.
said, you might want to do some samples. You see, I'm done. I don't have to stay. And so she was like, I don't want to do that. So I noted to myself, give samples, give free samples, So
That's your marketing.
yeah, I was teaching myself. I knew absolutely nothing about this stuff. So I started, building. So people, started, her drinks are good. Her drinks are good. And I'm like, okay. I sell them. I sell them
That's
drinks too.
awesome.
Yeah. So that's how it started. And then people just started, telling people word of mouth, and it started growing. Hey, you want to come to this event? Yeah, I'll come. So I just started. And then two, once I got a little bit of money under my belt, and I tell people all the time, don't just jump into entrepreneurship. I just jumped in full time 2 years ago, but I have all my stuff. So I have
Yeah.
my tent, I got my tablecloth, like everything, because I was looking at these major companies, and although I was small, I knew where I wanted to be, and so therefore I was like, I see they got this tent, I want a tent like that, and it was crazy
You
because I
plan
did
for it.
another. Yeah, I was. I've always, and people are like, what is wrong with you? And so I'm like, I don't know. But
You
once
got a
I got,
master plan. I love it.
yeah, that's what I was doing. And it was stuff just comes to me. It just comes to me. I'm like, okay, how can I figure it out? Or how can I do how I know it's a way. Now I might sit on the idea for a couple of years because I haven't figured it out. But once I figure it out, I just put the
It's
plan
on.
in motion.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
So to kind of, because I think that story is amazing, right? To kind of wrap this up, what is like that one tip you would share through
Oh,
that journey,
um,
for any entrepreneurs who maybe even want to get into the bar business, or the beverage business?
um, invest in yourself. Like
Mm,
stay the course. I can't explain
mm,
this enough. Stay the course. It's gonna be a lot of no's. It's gonna be a lot of life happens. Stay
Yeah.
the course. Do not do not wallow in it. Stay the course. That's all I can say.
Hmm.
Stay the course and invest. Take
I
your
love it.
money and reinvest it, reinvest it, reinvest it, and eventually it's gonna work out for you.
Fantastic. Selena, this was amazing. Thank you for jumping on. If people want to get in touch with you, maybe, buy some of your products, how do they get in touch with you? How do they reach you?
Um, Instagram, Liquid Loud Mixers. I have a
Mhm.
main page and a backup page. And also I'm working on my personal brand, Boss Behind no Boss Babe Lena. So I also
Okay.
have now, too. I not only have the products, I'm teaching people how to do what I've
Hmm.
done. So I have
Nice.
yes, mentorship coming out. I have an ebook, a recipe book, guys, a free recipe book if you guys want to
Ooh,
tap in. Yes,
link
it's
gonna
a
be in the bio. So anybody want to access the recipe books, they can
yes.
definitely click on it.
It is. I
Fantastic.
will put in the bio, and it's boss behind the bar, BAWSE behind the bar.com. So that's all of my credentials. If you want to get the products, the drinks, shop liquidloud.com.
Perfect.
So yeah, I'm teaching this thing, and it's gonna go.
Guys, check out Selena. If you have someone who's thinking about starting their own brand, beverage brand, or get into the bar business, she's your girl. Reach out to her. Thank you for jumping on.
Thank you. I appreciate it.